Anybody coming in yet? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay, we will get the meeting of the Irvington Architecture Review Board underway. Call the meeting to order. If you are the applicant, please be prepared to share your screen to go through the application. And at this point, announce who you are. If you are the applicant, let us know, and if not, who you are and who you represent. As is always the case, we will start with the continuation, revisions, and formal historic overlay referrals. At that point, we have just one of those items. It's a revision for 11 Hancock Place. We will then go on to new applications, starting with 2310 11 South Becker. So we will start now with 11 Hancock Place, exterior elevation change.
If you're here for 11 Hancock Place, can you please hit the raised hand button? Thank you.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Lizette. I'm here representing our clients, Darren and Sukena Klein. I was here last year proposing some exterior work, which has since been completed, but we are returning to do some additional work. The new scope of work is pretty straightforward. The existing columns at the front of the entrance are deteriorating, so we'd like to replace them in kind. And same with the decks on the upper levels. As you see in these photos, there's one on the left side of the house and one on the right side of the house. The current decks are currently not being used because they're in such poor shape. So the footprint is staying the same, design is staying the same. We're replacing everything to look exactly like what's currently there. We're going to be using a mold rigid polyurethane parts for the balusters, handrails, and newel posts, which have very little maintenance. They will look the way they look when they're installed 25 years from now. For the decking material, we're proposing to use Zuri premium decking, which is also a cellular composite material, which again has a 25-year, warranty on it, and it looks like real wood without the maintenance. It will never fade. It's scratch resistant, can sustain the weather in New York, and will look sharp and clean for years to come. These are the photos of the house. And just so you understand, in relation to the rest of the house, this is looking at the rear elevation. You see that there's one deck on one side, and then there's another on the other, and they are identical. And then at the front elevation, this is a curved entry, and there are 3 columns on each side, and we're replacing them exactly where they are, and they'll look exactly the way they currently look. That's it.
Is there a solarium involved as well?
It's existing. I'm sorry. Could you not see my screen?
Yes. Okay,
Can you see my screen? Sorry.
we can, yeah.
Oh, okay. The solarium is existing. So that's this here. Let's see if I can have a better picture of it. It's right here. It's an existing, solarium sunroom, and the deck is above it. And on the other side, the deck is above the existing garage. So there's nothing. This is the footprint.
I wasn't
This is
sure
on the
whether or not
second floor.
any work was being done in the solarium or to the
No
solarium.
work.
All
no,
above?
Just above. Yep.
Okay. The renderings showed, or the photograph showed, it looked like 2 different colors on the fencing or railings that go around, and yet there was another picture you just showed that had main support columns of the fencing of the decking, not the decking, excuse me. The railings to be a different color. Can you show that picture again? I just want to make sure that we're talking about all white.
It's all white, yes. This is a black and white photo. This is just a hand
Okay.
drawing, and then these are the photos of existing, and you see here that this is white, it's white here,
But
and it's white here.
All right. It was a little confusing in the black and white. Looked like it was two different colors.
No,
No
no, it's all gonna be white.
Okay. I didn't have any other questions or issues.
No, looks good.
Looks good.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, we will move on to new applications, and the first new application is ARB 23-10, 11 South Eckerd Street, Delano, and it's about siding. We can see that you're on, Ellen, which, there you go.
So I am certainly not as prepared as Lizette was with lovely pictures, not having ever submitted something here before, completely unaware of what we need to do. But I do know that you have the drawings that we have submitted of the two-car garage, that we are interested in replacing wood on the gables. I believe you also have an example of the cedar that we would like to use and the color that we would like to use as well. Currently, there is roof siding shingles on the gables. And the wood underneath that we can tell from inside the garage, being able to get up there, is a bit of a patchwork of, I would say, plywood, as well as probably what some of the original wood there was. And at one time, for some reason, we don't know why, it was covered over with roofing shingles. We would like to remove that, be able to get rid of all the rotting wood underneath, and replace it with beveled cedar siding with a 4-inch exposure that we will prime and paint in a reed brown to match the bricks that you can see in the color picture that was submitted or along the side of the building.
Okay, I recall your application and what it looked like. Does anybody else need to see it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, no sense having us pull it up then. Okay, I didn't have any issues with it when I looked at it the last time, and based on your description, you're doing exactly what I thought you were doing. So I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
so
Ellen.
much. And thank you. You guys have a great evening.
You too.
Take care.
Okay, let's move on to ARB 23-11, 5 Riverview Road. Fence.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. Hi, thank you for considering my application. I had actually presented to this committee back in the fall or even maybe the summer when my wife and I had installed a fence along the western border of our property, excuse me, at 5 Riverview, and we're proposing to actually install another line of fencing along the northern border of our property this time. So it's the exact same fencing that we're looking to install. And I have a copy of the, let me share my screen. I can show you the survey first. Just let me know. Wait, sorry, hold on one second. Okay, so it would be going right along. This is the northern border here that you can see. There's actually, and if I could try to zoom in a little bit, there is a chain link fence. And so actually, just firstly to also say, this is the section of fencing that we had installed back in the fall. It was about 50 feet of fencing. And we're looking to then extend it along the northern border of our property. There's already a chain link fence, which is actually it was installed by the neighbors that we share the border with over here. So it's on their property line. Our vinyl 6-foot vinyl brown fence would go in front of that chain link fence and then extend along to the rock wall here at the not all the way to the end of our property line, but most of the way there. And this is about 175 feet of fencing is what we would be installing. I can show you the dimensions of the fence. I'm sorry, one second here. Okay, so these are the dimensions of the fence. As I mentioned, it's a 6-foot vinyl fence, exactly the same as what we'd installed over the fall. Here's the picture of what it looks like. It's a rendering, not a rendering, but it's an actual picture, and it looks exactly like this in our yard. And then I have some pictures as to where the fence would go. So this is a view from the back patio of our house, and you can see the orange ribbon there, which marks the property line. And so the fence actually, technically this tree is right in the middle of the property line, but we're going to build around that, the tree. We're not going to disrupt the tree at all. But it would really just, obviously here, the purpose, as you can see, would just help us to achieve some privacy in the back part of our yard, as well as this over here is Broadway. My wife and I have a 5-month-old daughter who, we hope will be playing in our yard in the coming years, and want to make sure that we have some safeguards in place to prevent her from wandering off into the busy street that is Broadway, as we know. So this is a fairly wooded foliaged area. You can't really see it from I mean, you can see there's a little view of Broadway here. It's not very visible from the road, at least what the fencing will be. We picked the brown color, of course, to also try to blend in with the surroundings, and I think we achieved that with the string of fencing we installed back in the fall, and so expect this will be the same. So it will be relatively minimally invasive from a visibility perspective, we think, as well. But happy to answer any questions or concerns.
Do you have any photos of the existing fence?
I knew you'd ask that. I don't actually in the application, but I could send a picture of it via email as a follow-up to this meeting, if that would be helpful.
If you assert that the fence is exactly the same as the fence you already have, I can mark the application to be as such.
It is.
Read as
It's exactly the same fence. So this is actually exactly the same picture that I presented back in the summer when we got approval for the fence that we installed in the fall, and it looks exactly like this.
Okay. So should we approve it? I will conditionally approve it to be the exact same as the existing fence. You have any problem, any issue with that? Hello?
Is that that's a question for me?
Yeah, essentially, it was just saying that if we were to approve it, I would approve it conditionally to make sure that we're putting in the same fence that you have there.
Yes, that's absolutely fine with me. No objections to that.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
I think one of the concerns we have with vinyl fencing in general is that the headlights can kind of like glare off the vinyl, and it has a shiny appearance that is not the most attractive. Are headlights going to shine off this fence? It doesn't look like it from the picture you showed that just showed the little sliver of Broadway, but I wasn't sure if there was any other like roadway or driveway on that side of your property.
No, so you can see I pulled up
Your property, right?
Yeah, so the fence would go along here, this stretch of the property line, and you can see Riverview Road runs parallel to it, so you would never have a car that was obvious, unless of course, our neighbors across the street who may pull out of their driveway, but it would still even then, we're planning to, put bushes and trees and play shrubbery so that, it's not, just bare fencing. But
Yeah.
anyway, passing cars on Riverview would not, be directed at it. And then on Broadway here, yeah, there wouldn't be, there's all houses over here. There's a
Okay.
house here, so there wouldn't be any, and it's pretty far back from the road itself. I mean, this is, I could look at the measurements, but this is a good, 30, 40 feet right here where it would be set back from the road so that there wouldn't be cars that would be hitting their headlights on it.
Okay, and your neighbors are aware, the ones that are gonna be on the other side of the fence?
Yes, we've spoken to, there's actually two sets of neighbors technically. So there's a neighbor here and then a neighbor here, which we've spoken to both of them and let them know what our plans were, and there were no issues.
Okay, great. Sounds good to me then.
No questions.
Okay. Okay, so I will then make a conditional approval that the fence is the exact same fence as is existing in height and in color. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
You too. Okay, moving on to another fence, ARB 23-12, 12 Grinnell Street. Fence, the Singh family.
Hi, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we are, and we can see you too.
Hi, perfect. My name is Nav, the owner of 12 Grinnell. I'm sharing my screen. It's part of the proposal that I submitted. Just give me 1 second. Can you see the survey on the screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So we're filing for extension of the existing fence. We have our side yard here as well as backyard, which are partially fenced in. And we just wanted to extend the fence a little bit to give ourselves a little bit more room and for our future family as well as the new puppy that we have. So looking at the backyard currently, we have a diagonal fence that sort of goes in. So just to reacquaint, this is the west side of the property. This is the alleyway, which is the easement that goes in, comes from the home place and goes back into our garage. And we're proposing in the backyard to cover partially the driveway that sort of goes into the garage, since we're not really using the driveway as much. And as far as the side yard, which is facing south, currently we have a fence that covers pretty much half the side yard, but some of the yard in the front is not covered. So it's almost a wasted space. So we wanted to bring the fence all the way to almost to the front of there's a masonry wall towards Grinnell Street. We wanted to bring it all the way up so we would have a little bit more room on the side yard as well. Just to give you a little bit more visualization, this is currently this is the photo that was taken from the easement that shows the driveway that's not covered that goes into our garage. And this here is 10 Grinnell. So the plan would be to cover this straight and enclose the garage completely inside of the fence. And the plan for the side yard, if I can show you some images, this is the current side yard. It's partially, so it does not extend all the way up to Grinnell Street, which is here. So you end up with, if I can show you this image, this area, which is completely unused. So the plan was to take this side fence, which is south facing, and basically extend it straight to the masonry wall. And that's what we showed here in the survey. If I zoom in, that this is the side yard, we wanted to extend it completely to the front. And in the back, we would have basically a rectangle shaped backyard, and we'll have a 16 feet gate here. And the fence we're using is same as the fence that was used before. And this is when we spoke with the contractor, this is the rendering that was given to us. And for the gate itself, just given the plan would be to make a metal gate and cover it with the wooden fence, so it looks exactly the same. And we did speak with our neighbors as well regarding this fence. I'll pause here for a second if you have any specific questions.
I had just had some questions about some of the pictures. I couldn't put them together. I was just curious if you wanted to go through the pictures one more time. So
Definitely.
where the fence is going to start at the main column of that fence there?
Exactly. So instead of it going, so right now, if you look here, the fence is diagonal. The fence right now comes here. Sorry, it's diagonal, and this is the garage. So the plan would be, instead of the fence being diagonal here, to bring it across here and across here. So all this paved road, which is not being utilized, would be part of the backyard.
Okay, could you go to the other pictures?
Yes. So sorry, this is the other. So if we stick with the backyard, so this is the diagonal fence at the moment, and it does
Okay.
not include the driveway, which is on the other side, on the right side here. So the plan would be to extend it straight across, to give us a little bit more space in the backyard.
That fencing wouldn't be there any longer.
So this fencing here, this line would be removed, yes. So this is the backyard, and now moving on to the side yard. So this is the view from our backyard. And as you can see, the fencing stops midway on the side yard. And if this was the photo taken from the top, it does not extend all the way up. So the plan would be to extend it all the way forward. And this is
But does the neighbor's fence, could you go back to that picture? Does the neighbor's fence extend? You said there was a chain link fence there?
No, there's no other fence.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, the neighbor's house is not fenced at all.
Okay,
So we would not be, and we'll stay within our property a couple of inches even further. And the fence already that exists in the back is a couple of feet in from the easement. On the side, it's definitely, at least 5-6 inches in. So we'll be staying within our parameters.
So when you put the fence on the side there, you're gonna create a space on the neighbor's side of what, 1 foot or?
I believe it's about 2 feet, if I remember correctly. So as you can see here, this is their property.
but it's navigable. You can actually get, between the building and that fence?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you talk to them about it? Were they-
I spoke with them briefly about this. I spoke again. This is a rental unit, so the renters live here. The owners don't live here. So we spoke with them briefly about it, and they were okay with it.
Yeah, the owners.
Yes.
Okay.
Does anyone else on the street have fencing that goes across the bottom of their driveway like that?
Bottom of the driveway, you mean in the
Like
back?
what you're proposing, kind
Like
of
in the back?
blocking the view of your driveway and garage?
So no, so these renters, these owners do not have it. The one on the other side also do not have it. The one I think who are on the corner, actually, I think our property is pretty unique. So there is no such property where the garage is sitting in the middle. So I think it's hard to have sort of that comparable. I don't think any of the other ones have a garage. A lot of the properties on Grinnell do not have a garage. So I think we're the only ones.
So when that fence goes across that driveway, it's going up to and when it makes the right-hand turn, it goes up to the garage and ends right there?
Exactly. Yep. So it'd be basically here, and it'll just come across here and connect with the pre-existing fence.
Okay.
Would you consider, or have you considered maybe a transparent gate at the end of the driveway so that like you could still see the garage from the street? I
So
think that would be maybe more in keeping with the way other people have done it in other areas of Irvington.
I just wasn't sure if we would lose all our privacy in the backyard. And this is the easement, so no one can really see it. If it was on the front, I would
I
have
see.
definitely considered it. But
I see. It's not a public street where people are
No.
driving past.
No,
Okay.
exactly. And if you can see, the only person who uses the easement from Home Place, our easement here is this house, which is 10 Grinnell, and they use it to get to their garage here. So no one
Okay.
else really uses that space or sees into that space at all.
Okay.
So there's a garage right at the end there.
Yes, I don't know if it's I guess if you looked here, there would be a garage. I don't really have an image of that.
So in this easement,
Mhm.
whatever it is, alleyway,
Yes,
it's one
easement.
lane wide, is it?
It's one lane, yeah. I think we're supposed to give them, I think it's 10 feet of easement, which is, up to here. But the pre-existing fence even gives, additional 2 to 3 feet. So it's, it'll never block their garage door, which is here. So it just stays, definitely within a couple of feet within the limitation.
I think what it will do is if they pull into the garage, when they come out of the garage, they're not gonna be able to swing into your driveway to turn around.
They never do. So they reverse out all the way. We all do. So they just go straight back. And we never use each other's driveway space.
Okay.
If you go back to the end of at the front of the house, and you got that white picket fence in the picture,
Yes.
is that staying or are you putting
Yes.
that
No, staying.
gate is gonna be below that?
Exactly. So you can see the top of the masonry wall here. So if you see here, let me see if there's a better image. There's a stair that comes down. So it will end here. So the
Wall
top
or the
fence,
stair?
the fence that we extend will end here against this wall. So the top fence, which is the white fence, which faces Grinnell Street, does not get touched at all.
Okay, so you're not the stockade's not returning to the front of the house. You're just going
Straight out.
straight into the wall. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay, any other questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, then I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Okay, we'll move on to ARB 23-13, 20 Strawberry Lane. Also a fence.
If you're here to represent the application, can you present them?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hi. So I'm in the car. I'm not driving, but I don't have any screens to share, but I submitted all paperwork to the board. I hope you have everything in order.
Could you pull it up? All right, we'll try to pull it up on our end. Alrighty, I don't know, can you see can she see the screen? Can you see the
I
screen?
can see, I can see the screen.
That's the fence that you're looking to deer
This is not the deer fence per se.
we know.
This is the front of the property for aesthetic reasons. This would be the fencing, at the front on top of the existing, wall. And this is, you're scrolling down to the deer fence, which will encircle the rest of the property in the back.
Okay, will this fence be integrated with the fence we just saw?
It will be integrated with the existing chain link fence. Because
Okay.
the fence you just saw will only be at the front entrance to the house. And it will be integrated with the pre-existing, chain, link, fence.
Okay. Is there an overview?
Right.
So the deer fence is going to, everywhere you see that yellow on the top, that's a chain link fence that you're going to integrate the deer fence on top of or connected to?
If you can, all the yellow will be the deer fence, which is this aluminum covered with the, aluminum mesh covered with black for rubber, right? The existing chain link you can see on the right hand side, that's going all the way to the front, of the, basically to the street level primarily. You can, I can't tell where it lands, but it goes all the way past the front of the house. So
So
sorry.
that's all right, go ahead.
So the, where you could see the arrow at the front, there, and the yellow, on the front will be that metal fence, and there will be a metal gate. So to sort of, be aesthetically more pleasing, where you can see the arrow.
Uh-huh.
And there's another gate, another arrow. There's currently existing fence there, and it will just match that. And in the back, there's also existing fence, and that the gate will be there to close off the property from the deer.
So all the deer fencing, how is the deer fencing being erected? How is it being secured?
With posts.
But new posts exclusively for the deer fencing, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, because I wasn't sure how it was going to integrate.
I'm
Okay.
not sure what you mean by integrating exactly.
Well, is the fence going to be, is the deer fence, the new deer fence, going to be attached to any existing fence?
Right, that's exactly where the chain link just ends. It used to be all around, but it fell, and you can see some remnants of the cement in the ground, but it's not existing at the moment. So, but the new deer fence will attach to the chain link that is already there at the line where you can see the yellow starts. And there was no deer fence on the left hand side, but that will follow the property line and attach to existing metal fencing.
Okay.
I'm
that was
sorry,
my
it will,
question.
yes.
Okay, Sarah, could you zoom into the front of the house? I just want to see where this new fencing, this new aluminum fencing is going. A little bit more if you could. All right, so to the right of the right arrow, that's all that new fencing that and you're gonna put a gate in front of the driveway as well?
Right, so correct. The yellow to the right will be the new aluminum fence. Again, this didn't want to spoil sort of the front with the deer fence netting. So that's why we decided to do the metal. And there will be on top of the, and there was going to be a gate. And there's actually going to be, which is, I don't think it's marked or not on here. There's a stone wall between the house, the corner of the house, and the between to the right and to the left of the staircase, there will be like a 4 foot to make it even with the gate, 4 foot fence, metal fence as well.
All right. So is there gonna be another gate in front of the steps?
No,
Or you-
no.
you will
There's
already-
gonna follow it's gonna follow that stone wall, which is like, oh, I wish I was on the way to
Well,
drive to
I
the
know the house,
meeting.
so I know, I'm familiar with the
Yeah.
house, so I know,
Yes.
you know, what it looks like, and I just
Right,
didn't
so-
realize you're actually making, the walkway behind, the fencing. From the
walk-
driveway.
The driveway will be outside of the fencing altogether.
Okay,
It will not, yeah, the fencing will be on this, on the wall, on both sides of the, steps. And the gate will be on the top portion of the steps.
okay. Okay, I didn't have any other questions anyway.
No.
What is the gate gonna look like?
It's,
Okay.
you have a picture there.
Say that again?
Do we have a picture of the
Oh.
gate?
Yes,
Yeah.
there was a picture of the gate. Mhm.
I see. Okay.
All right, I understand that there's somebody, in the audience that has a question. Sarah, do you want to let them in?
It's my husband.
I just want to make sure that you understand that the gate is behind the driveway, because at one point Isa said it's actually in front of the driveway, so it's actually reset behind the
Okay.
driveway steps.
Yeah. All fencing is, yeah, it's not, the driveway is outside of the fencing.
Okay. Not a problem. Okay, any other questions, anybody?
No.
No.
Okay, I,
Right, thank you.
am fully on board. I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Okay, thank
Thank-
you very much.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
You too. All right. We will move on to 23-14, 30 Lewis Road. Siegel Windows. Hi, guys.
Hello. Neil, you
Okay.
there? You're gonna have to unmute and let
Turn
them
on your
see you, yeah.
There we go. Hi, guys.
How we doing?
Very well, thanks.
Let her rip.
Okay, so we're gonna start with floor plan. The project that we're undertaking with the Siegels is mostly an interior renovation project. And the area where we're putting the new windows happens to be in the kitchen. So if you look at the plan, there are a couple windows here and here that we're replacing. Here and here as well. And then we're taking one window out, which is currently in a powder room. And then two other windows and replacing it with a wider triple window that will bring more light in to the kitchen above the sink. So if we go to, let's see. Can you see that?
Yep,
Can you see the photograph?
we can.
Okay, yeah, so this is an elevation that faces the driveway. These two windows were essentially taking out and replacing with new energy efficient windows that fit the same opening. The same with this window here. and this window here, both of which fall in the mudroom. Mudroom is accessed from a door at grade here, and then you go up one flight of stairs to the kitchen. This is the window we're removing that's currently in the powder room, and this is the double window in the existing kitchen that we are going to replace with something that looks like this. And the windows themselves look like this. So the two windows that are in the kitchen that are standalone windows with transoms above will look like this. The two windows in the mudroom will look like this. And then the triple window above the kitchen sink is going to look like this. So what we're trying to do is match the diamond pattern that exists on many of the transom windows in the old historic house. And then match the mutton pattern of most of the other double hung windows, which have a single divider in the top sash and no divisions in the bottom sash. And the new windows are Marvin windows. They're G2 Ultimate Series, which will meet the energy codes, the New York State energy codes, with a U value of 2.7.
Okay.
So that's really it.
Okay, well, I didn't, in my first look, I didn't have any questions or issues. I would like to say that it's refreshing to see a house that is not in the historic district try to maintain its historic character, and I appreciate the fact that the windows that you're putting in are going to do just that.
Thank you. Although we're very thankful that they will improve the energy efficiency, because this house leaks like a sieve.
No more slippers.
Right.
Cold floors. Okay. Any questions?
These transoms, the diamond pattern, are those like leaded, like the old leaded class, or?
No, they're actually wooden muntins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you look carefully here, you can see.
I'm pretty sure in order to get the argon gas in between the windows, you'd have to put it on an exterior, the diamond shapes.
Yes, they're simulated divided lights. They're not individually divided lights. But that's standard for almost all windows today, and
Yeah, I agree.
It looks good.
yeah.
Questions?
No,
No questions? Okay.
my house also has the diamond window panes. So I
How old?
appreciate,
How old is your house?
it was built in 1888. It's the old gate lodge at the corner of Ardsley and Broadway.
Sure, you got us beat by 2 years.
Well, I could say firsthand that they're both beautiful houses, certainly from the exterior.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, what's nice about the replacement windows is it allows us to eliminate these storm screen aluminum combinations that were added after the fact years ago for energy efficiency. So you won't see that. You'll just see all green like this.
Oh, nice.
Sounds good. Okay, I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are good to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay. We will move on to ARB 23-15, 288 Riverview Road. Window.
Wow.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Sure.
Okay, can you see my screen?
We can see just you. Can't see your screen yet.
Oh, okay, how do I share
There's
that?
Put your cursor on the, there you go.
Okay. All right.
Go.
My husband and I, we bought our home in 2020. And since that time, we've actually never used one of the doors. This past December, unfortunately, our house completely flooded. And we wanted to just take the opportunity. It's quite a small house, to capture some of that space and better use it where that old entry door was. We'd like to replace the existing door with a window, and there are currently 2 other means of egress. So this is just an old survey of our home, and nothing has changed. And this is a view of the existing door. And you can kind of see that there's an elevational change. So we have neighbors up on the hill, and then there's this old brick retaining wall. So where we would have the window isn't super visible to even our neighbors. However, we have a great relationship with them, and they have no problems with anything that we're doing or that we're planning on doing. This funny little addition happened in the 70s. The house actually began construction in 1938, so not quite as old as some of the properties that were just discussed. And so it's kind of it's very odd to have an entry planned back at that time here, because there's a big level change and a lot of stairs. And on the other side, where we usually use our entry door, it's flat and it's easier for everyone to get there. So it wasn't even an intentional choice not to use the door. It just is the way we live with our 2 young children. So this would be the floor plan. You can see we use this door here. We have a lovely patio and garden back here. And we would like to convert this whole thing into like a nice bathroom that has a proper shower. So when my family come in from the Midwest, they have a nice place to stay. This is a elevation of the proposed exterior, where we would have a window that is the same proportions as this window here. And we actually have like a lot of the original brick. So we were able to patch where that door was with the brick that was originally used. I was able to find, I should say, I am not a licensed architect, but I went to WashU for a Master of Architecture. I'm kind of more of a stay-at-home mom at the moment, but so I have a little bit of knowledge to be able to at least pull this together. I found a Great Lake window that exceeds the energy code that we have. And it is in keeping with the windows that were there when we moved in 2020. So that's the extent of what we want to do.
Okay. I didn't have any initial issues, but I will ask the other board members if they have any questions or concerns.
No issues.
Okay. Okay, I think it was pretty straightforward. I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very
Thank you all
much.
so much. Have a great night.
You too. We move on to our second Siegel of the evening, 23-16, 29 Dearman Close. And this is a solar application.
If you're here to represent the application, can you please hit the raise hand button, please?
This is a different family.
Spelled differently.
There is nobody raising their hand.
It's supposed to be spelled differently. That's not on this, but it is. Okay, we can move on and come back. All right, we will go on to another solar application, ARB 23-17, 84 Fargo Lane.
Yes, hello.
How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
All right.
Yeah, this is,
Brandon and Eric with Rivertown Solar.
yep, this is a very straightforward solar panel installation on a rear rooftop. Panels are about 4 inches above the
I'm going to share my screen.
surface.
Please do.
Yeah, so that you can see the layout. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
How about
It's
now?
coming.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yep, we're in the middle of two frames though. Yeah, that's better.
There you go.
Okay, very good. So this is the Morris residence at 84 Fargo. And there's an aerial view of the current roof. Our proposed plans would include a solar array on one side of the roof to avoid any ventilating pipes and exhaust pipes. It's a fairly small array. Further down in the plan set, you can see the type of panels that we propose to be using and the point of attachment, which will keep the array very close to the roof. Eric, what is it, about 3.5 inches, 4 inches above
Yeah,
the
about
roof?
4 inches.
4 inches. And we're using a very aesthetically pleasing black on black panel that the homeowner selected. There's nothing out of the ordinary on this installation. I think this is our 5th installation in Irvington so far. So I'll open it up if there are any questions.
Okay, initially I sent a question 2 weeks ago about this, not having a section that shows the height of the PV module over the roof surface. And you did come back to show me that there is a detail that shows, but it doesn't show what I had asked for. It shows the clearance under the PV module. However, it's critical that we know the dimension from the roof surface to the top of the module.
Right. So all of our installations so far have been comprised of the same mounting and railing system. And all of our installations are 4 inches to the top of the panel from the roof surface.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, but that's not what your detail shows.
Okay, I mean, the L foot, which comes off of the RT Mini, which is the attachment method that we use, the attachment means of attachment. It has a variable, it has a slot that sort of where you can adjust the height, and we adjust the height. If you go up a little bit, Brandon, go up, Brandon, a little bit. Stop right there. Go down a little bit, please. Down a little bit more, please. A little bit more. Yep, right there. That's that. See that D4? You can see the L foot. Yeah, that's it. There's an adjust. You can adjust the height within that, and we hit 4 inches just about every time.
4 inches from where to where?
4 inches from the surface of the roof to the top of the panel.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, well, if we were to approve this tonight, I'm just going to make a note that that we know that the dimension can be no higher than 6 inches from the bottom of the from the roof to the top of the panel.
Oh yeah, that's guaranteed. Yep.
Okay. I know that from the paperwork that you've noticed your neighbors or the neighbors from this particular house, 84 Fargo Lane. I will at some point in the next couple of seconds open the meeting up as a public hearing to let anybody who has any concerns let us know. So at this point, I will make a motion to open a public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Okay, at this point, the public meeting is open. And I will ask Sarah to look to see if there's any hands raised.
Nobody's raising their hand to speak and there are no comments in the chat.
Okay, So nobody raising their hands to speak and no comments in the chat. I will make a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, once again, I'm going to conditionally, because I didn't see the actual detail, I'm going to conditionally approve or make a motion to approve the solar array based on the height of the top of the module to be no more than 6 inches above the roof surface. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank
We
you
got
very
it.
much.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We will go on pull one more application before we go back. And that application would be 23-18, 77 South Buckout Street, an exterior elevation change.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is John Anastasiou, and I'm the architect for Donna and Kevin Gallagher at 77 South Buckout Street. Let me just share my screen. This application, we've already been to the planning board and got approval, and to the zoning board and received approval. So we're here tonight to first go over the project and to explain what this application is looking to accomplish. This is the existing footprint of the building here. And right now, this is an existing enclosed sunroom that's in need of repair, in addition to the existing steps that lead up to it. What we're looking to do is remove the existing sunroom and extend the corners to the full width of the house and add it to the interior of the existing house. So this is the existing sunroom here. It'll get removed, and in its place, although these plans are a little bit out of alignment, the addition would go here, and it's all going to become interior space. When we met with the zoning board, they had a suggestion of not having the front porch protrude past the line of the existing building, which was where the existing sunroom was. So what we ended up doing was building a little recessed alcove to give cover to the front door as the occupants and the owners are coming in and out of the front door. The existing house has stucco and exposed painted trim. So we're looking to maintain that aesthetic with the new addition here. The existing house from this line going back, this is the side view, is all remaining. And then from the opposite side, this is the existing house going back, it's remaining. The portion that we're removing and replacing in kind of essentially is from here going towards the street. This is the front elevation. So we're putting, again, we're maintaining the existing aesthetic of the existing house. It's all going to be stucco, the same colors being proposed as the existing main house. The wood trim that's going around the new windows will match the wood trim that's existing on the main portion of the house. The new asphalt shingles will match the color of the existing asphalt shingles. And the trim work around the door opening is all gonna be that painted trim to make it look like wood. I have some of the samples here, pictures of the samples of the windows being used. The existing windows on the house are vinyl replacement windows. For the new portion of work, we're proposing the Anderson 400 energy efficient in white to match what the existing windows are doing. But the trim around them on the facade will be the wood trim painted brown to match the color of the wood trim of the house.
Okay, I noticed that almost all the windows on the house are 6/1. Is there a reason why we're not going with that on these two windows?
Oh, we will do the same thing. It just wasn't depicted in the elevation, but we're going with the 6/1 as is the rest of the house.
Okay.
And this is a photo of asphalt shingle, brown in color that matches the color of the existing roof. And just to show you what the existing front of the house looks like now, this is the existing enclosed sunroom that is in disrepair, so it's going to get removed. And we're just building out the corners here. So the front of the house is going to meet the front plane of the existing enclosed sunroom. But in terms of the aesthetic, we're just maintaining the existing character of the house. And the front here, these are the steps that lead up to the front door. These steps are concrete. The walkway leading up to the steps are slate. So our new steps are going to be, bluestone. That's it in terms of the presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
The windows are my only concern, and you've answered that. We'll ask the other board members, do they have any questions?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this will also be, as you may have heard in the past few applications, this will also be a conditional approval because what I see on the drawings is not what's going to be on the windows. So I'm going to make a conditional approval based on all the new windows being 6/1. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We okay with that?
Absolutely. That was always the intent.
Okay.
I apologize, didn't get it on the drawing.
Just we have to clear it up now, otherwise.
I completely understand, and I thank you for that.
No problem. We're good to go then.
All right, great. Have a great
Thank you
evening.
very
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
I will now go back and see if the seagulls have shown up for the ARB 23-16 29 Dearman Close Seagull Solar. Nothing yet. Okay. Say again.
They're not here.
Okay. All righty, so then we will have one last application, 23-19. 16 North Ecker Street, also an exterior elevation change.
Good evening. Hopefully,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Share my screen. I'll bring up this application. I'll start with the plans. This project is mostly a interior renovation, mostly consisting of a gut renovation of the kitchen. This is a side-by-side two-story, two-family home on North Ecker Street, in the historic district. All of the work is taking place in the back of the house. And what we're doing, as I said, is just a gut renovation of this kitchen, which includes opening up this back wall to provide more light into the kitchen. We're taking out this small window that's above the sink. There's an existing opening here for a door. That opening is going to stay. And basically what we're doing is opening up this back wall to glass. I will bring up the elevation. Let me know if you can see this. Oops, what happened? Sorry. There we go. You see that?
Yep.
Okay, so part of the work is, as I said, this door opening is existing. And we're going to add a transom because they have high ceilings on the first floor. We're going to get it up to, it's about a 9-foot ceiling. So we want to bring the window height up to about 8 feet to the top of the window. And then bring them down to that area just above where the kitchen counter is. So this will be windows all the way across. They're going to be casement windows so that they can be reached and opened from, from the kitchen side without having, having to reach over the counter and open a double hung. The rest of the windows are double hungs, but these will be casements just so that they can be opened easily. All the siding will remain as is. All the new trim will match the white trim that's there. I've got some photographs too that I'll share in a second. And also part of the application, we'll be removing a stair that goes from this second floor deck that comes down, kind of turns here. Again, you'll see the photos in a second, which will again also just kind of open up that back of the house. Let me just bring up the photos. Let me just take you to the front. Sorry, let me see why this isn't. Okay. So this is the front of the house. Back when we had snow. I don't know why this isn't toggling, but and that's where you can see it's side by side. They have a shared entrance, but the property in question is this this side of the house, which is on the north side of the property. Why is this not moving?
Is this property two different?
It's
owners?
no, it's the same owner. It's the same. Yeah, it is the same owner. Correct. Okay, and that's the street view. I don't know what, I apologize, guys. I don't know why this isn't toggling well, but that's the street view looking west. And then in the rear, I think I can get it now. Okay, there we go. So this is what I was saying before. This is the stair that's coming out. There's that small window that's above the sink. This is the existing door opening that is going to, the opening is going to stay, but we're going to change this out to a glass door with a transom above it so that it'll align with the top of the windows. And this, the stair that's here now is structurally independent. It can be removed without having any structural modifications to the upstairs deck. But everything else is basically existing to remain. For context, the neighbor, you can see it's basically a solid wall of the neighbor's property. Their house is built right onto the property line. There's a small alley here, but this alley is on this application, the owner's property. This is basically a blank wall that represents the property to the north. Any questions?
Unfortunately, the only question I have is that screening that's up on the top of that porch.
Yeah, this is a privacy screen that predated the existing owners. You can see that they patched it because it was starting to fall apart. I don't know. They probably didn't get approval for this, meaning the previous owners. The new owners have owned the house for about 2 years, and it predated them.
Is there any apparent reason to have it? Is there, a house right on top of them behind them that are looking onto the property?
Perhaps. I think it might be for privacy. I think they actually enjoyed having it because, this part of town, the houses are on top of each other. The yards are small. The backyard kind of looks into somebody else's yard. I did show the north property as being a solid wall, but that's on the first level. It does look down into their backyard. So again, I think it's probably something that they would prefer to keep. It predated them. They were happy to have it.
Well, I'm going to leave it at if the building department wants to make an issue of it, they can. However, I will, because it's not in this particular application, I'm not going to make an issue of it at this point.
Okay.
Well, except for when you remove the stairs, are you going to extend that?
No,
Right.
no. We're just gonna patch the railing and they're gonna leave the screen. Between the four of us, I think,
Can you show us again what it's gonna look like? Can you show us again what it's gonna look like when it's done?
yeah, I'll go back to the elevation. You see that?
Yes. Okay, so as you said, that stairway's coming out in total.
Correct. Yes.
Are you then extending the porch fencing or porch railing to go back to the building?
Yeah, they're not gonna extend that, I'm calling it a privacy screen.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna extend it. We do,
When I say extend, I mean, is that left side wall now going to extend back to the building where the stairs were?
yeah, no, just the railing will.
That's what I mean. That's what I
Yes.
asked. That's
The railing will,
yeah.
sorry, yes. The
Okay.
36-inch high railing will go back and that'll match.
Okay. Okay, okay, I have, let me finish, with any board questions or concerns. Okay, there's somebody raising their hand, so I will, allow the question in.
Hello, do you have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm the representative from Tesla, representing 29 Dearman.
Application.
All right, we'll, if, as long as we know you're there, we'll come back to you, but at this point, you're
Yeah.
not in this application that we're discussing now.
No, I realize that, but you hadn't recognized me before, but when you called the address, so.
Okay. We will get right to you. Okay, anything back to 16 North Ecker? Anybody? No other questions? No outside concerns raising their hands? I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Okay, thank you very much.
all right,
Have a good night.
you too. Okay, we will go back to 29 Dearman Close, solar. ARB 23-16. Hello?
Hi, how you doing?
Okay,
Yeah, so it's similar to the system that the previous applicant had. It's a PV panel system. The size of it is 17 roughly panels. It's proposing to cover 3 sides of the home, which represents 4 mounting planes.
you have the ability to show your application on the screen?
Yeah, I haven't done Zoom before, unfortunately. I'm in the field, so is there a link up above that shows that?
Well,
Or
if you put your cursor on the screen, you'll see a green rectangle down below that says share.
Oh, I see it. Yeah,
Just click on that and then it'll go to your computer,
gotcha.
hopefully. All right, we're not seeing anything yet. You want to try that again?
Yeah, it's maneuvering the system preferences. Was the application sent into the board? Do you have visuals?
We do, but we expect the applicants to make the presentation. If you're having issues, in the interest of time, I would ask our internal people to bring it up.
Oh, great. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, so that shows the coverage of the panels, roughly 40 panels. I think what Tesla did was they put the highest efficiency panels they have available, so it would reduce the number of panels.
Wow, I hate to see it. If you didn't reduce them, I'd hate to see how many you'd have.
Yeah, that's a high efficiency panel, it's 420 watts per panel.
What's the electricity offset?
So 17 kW is the proposed system size.
Right, but offset meaning how much of the electricity usage are you offsetting in a given year as a percentage?
I think when the applicant, the homeowner here, they do compare roughly between 95% to 105% offset of the electricity bill. But in this case, I think they tried to get up to about 90. They try to maximize the amount of roof space available to do that.
Do you have is there a frame showing the proximity of your house to the other houses? I'm just trying to see whether you're above, below, whether people will be looking down on you.
Yeah, that's a good question. I was reviewing the file right there. It's a first good glimpse at it. So I believe the house is in the neighborhood, and also the pitch of the roof. It's a low pitch roof, which the visibility of the system is reduced by having that kind of a roof. And then where the house is situated is also kind of elevated compared to the neighbors. So I don't see, from my review, it was not visible, especially the neighbor there on the right. He's kind of below, so he's not going to be able to see that.
That was why I wanted to see this, to refresh my memory about where this house is situated amongst the others.
And it kind of looked like it was on a cul-de-sac, so this is at the end of the cul-de-sac.
Well, yeah, it's a modified cul-de-sac. I think it has 2 ways out.
Okay.
Okay, I'd asked the same thing of you as I did the last applicant, and that was to show a section showing the height of the PV module, the top of the PV module versus the roof surface, and you were kind enough to send me the correct or legible copy of what that dimension is.
Yeah,
And it's
this
under-
one. Yeah,
It's under 6, so we're good to go.
yeah, this one is a different mounting system, but we're able to control it at exactly 4 inches. So
Right. I also, as far as notifying your neighbors, I saw that you successfully did that you sent out all your you did your due diligence on that in that regard, so I'm okay with that. At this point, you've satisfied all my questions. I will ask the board if they have any other questions.
No.
No.
Okay. I will then open up a public hearing as is required by village code. I will make a motion to open to open the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I will ask Sarah if there's anybody raising their hands or anybody in the chat room.
No, there's nobody here.
Okay, everybody's gone except us. Okay, I will then make a motion to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. At this point, we are pretty straightforward. I don't need to make any conditions on this application to approve. I will make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much.
thank you, everybody.
All right. That was all we had. Anybody have any issues, questions? We haven't gone any further with the situation, you know, the ARB change situation. Did you have any issues, concerns beyond what you sent in?
No.
I mean, I'm just gonna, you know, poll everybody individually and see, you know, what it is that that you have concerns over, and I can make that presentation to village administration, see where it goes from there.
My only concern, which I brought up at our meeting with Larry, was it seems like it's giving an awful lot of power
Mhm.
to a single person as opposed to a diverse
Yes,
committee.
well, yes, to a
residents.
degree, because that person that you're referring to still has to bring it to the planning board. And they can reject it or approve it based on what they
I guess.
think is.
What scares me is what if the consultant is that architect for that super modern house on Field Terrace? Like, I would not agree with any of his.
Well,
You know,
that
matters.
we'll
of
have to have
taste.
some say. in
Right.
who that person is, or at least some input as to who that person should.
By the way, I thought it was interesting, one of the applicants tonight, Allison Lang, said she has a master's in architecture, but she doesn't actually practice. She's a stay-at-home mom in Irvington. But she's educated. as
She
an
may not be
architect.
AIA. But,
Maybe she'd be a good candidate for ARB.
or whatever the ARB is gonna work into.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, that sounds good. I will, I'll bring that to Larry and see what he says.
About the
About-
consultant
yeah,
person.
Well, about, you know, who they plan on, or how they plan on coming to that, you know, determination of who that,
Yeah,
that person, that one person is going to be. Originally it was two, I don't know how more into one. That could always change, but.
maybe if it's a rotating position where. But I feel like there's
I don't
so
know- I
few
don't know if
people that
training
fit the
boards are
criteria.
rotating
Yeah.
people.
I don't know. I don't know if I have any brilliant solutions. I only have complaints, which is
Yeah, but
not particularly constructive of me.
Well, but when you complain about something, people have to make a decision on how to remedy it, so. That may be a way to fix something.
I think when it worked really well, it was a design architect on the ARB that make this run really well. 'Cause
I
that's
agree.
what we're missing.
Well, good question. It's still, that's all well and good, except they're still trying to streamline the process and, you know, make it less onerous for the applicants. You know,
You don't think they're accomplishing that.
well,
They need to look.
they
at the
think they are
entire
from a matter
process.
of steps, but
Yeah,
some of those steps can just take longer, you know, take twice as long as the two steps that they used to do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I agree with the intent. Like, I think they have a good intent,
Well, this
but
intent, we've been talking about this intent since 2010 when I was.
yeah.
So.
And I'm such a newbie also that I sort of defer to your expertise, you know, meaning other members of the ARB that have been here a lot longer than I have, so. I don't know. Those are my only thoughts.
All right, well, I guess I should make a motion to adjourn. Second, in favor?